Good Tuesday evening to you, or should I say Tuesday night. This is Mike Said It First. I'm your host, Michael Carvelis. This show is being brought to you by MyBookie.ag. When you go to MyBookie.ag, because sports are in full swing right now, October has been great, and I turned 24 this month. Enter the promo code 12 on Sports. That's promo code 12OZ Sports. All caps, no spaces, for a first deposit bonus up to $1,000 on mybookie.ag. Our topics for the night include the Falcons, again, Baker Mayfield addition by subtraction with Odell. Everybody's talking about it, I might as well. Cowboys, in a John Bostic sound-off. Steelers made their mark against the Titans. Cam Newton's dress code. That's going to be fun. Kyler Murray Magic. Bears lost to the Rams, and how ugly was that? We'll also have a new Mike rank for the NFL. Tuesday night, Thursday night football preview. The results are in. The people have spoken. Your new president is Mike. And college football picks at 10:45. Let's get started, first of all, with the Falcons choking. Before we do that, let's get a word from Drinkade, and I'll be right around the corner. Don't go anywhere.
Drinkade, ready for distribution worldwide.
All right. Our first topic is the Falcons' choke job, or really should I say Todd Gurley's choke job, because when the Falcons lost to the Detroit Lions, of course, it's the whole pun about Georgia sports being terrible. And as a person residing near Savannah, Georgia, I completely understand. That being said, Matt Ryan is going to get blamed for this once again. They're going to want to go Justin Fields. And granted, I too would go with Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence over Matt Ryan right now. But Matt Ryan will always be the butt of these jokes, because he's the quarterback, and I guess this is what he signed up for. But this was all Todd Gurley, make no mistake about it. This dude, like Julio Jones, has been so allergic to the end zone that as he's breaking the final tackle about 7 or 8 yards from the end zone, he continues plowing forward, breaks free, and then says, "Oh, I better fall down so the clock can keep running." And he decides to go into the end zone and then fall down. Even Lions players were saying, "Oh, it was a touchdown," because they knew what was coming next. Matthew Stafford went right down the field, and on the final play of the game, threw a touchdown. But this is another story, again, where Matt Ryan gets blamed for absolutely no reason. Todd Gurley is a complete joke to the state of Georgia. I've told you guys from day one, he will always let you down. And I was talking about injury before. This is just flat out a new genre for me. A new thing for me is watching this crap right here unfold before our eyes. It was pathetic to see Todd Gurley want to go into the end zone. Everybody and their sister knew that all the Falcons had to do was kick a field goal. But Todd Gurley had other plans about himself. I'll get into that later with Cam Newton, but it's not fair to Matt Ryan. It's not fair to Georgia sports fans who expect better. And granted, I don't even know what to expect now. But that was not right. It's funny that Matthew Stafford won a game against Todd Gurley in Georgia. And it was another pathetic example of just darn it. Of we had him again. We had another lead. Or we could have had the lead. And I don't even know what to say anymore. It was a complete choke job by Todd Gurley's part. Everyone else will be blamed besides Todd Gurley. Of course, the defense allowed a gigantic drive. We all knew that was going to happen. But Todd Gurley could have prevented that. But he wanted a touchdown for his fantasy or whatever the crap. Maybe his salary. Maybe as a bonus for a touchdown. Screw your wallet, Todd Gurley. It's pathetic. It really is. The owner, Arthur Blankenship, was literally down on the field waiting for the Young Wei Koo kick and never got to see it because Todd Gurley was an absolute idiot. But hey, he was also with the Rams in the Super Bowl against the Patriots, but he was all the way up to that point and they got injured and couldn't even play in the biggest game of his life. And that's what Todd Gurley is his entire career. It's just flat out hype you up and then either get injured or now it's going to the end zone when you're not supposed to. It's got to suck, right? Addition by subtraction, is this really a thing? Because Baker Mayfield of the Browns was 0 for 5 against the Bengals before Odell Beckham Jr. tore his ACL. The man then went on to complete a Bears record, which at the time I saw it on the screen, I was watching like 4 different games at once. He had like 16 straight completions, which was a Browns record. Not only that, but he threw the game-winning touchdown to Donovan Peoples-Jones, and my goodness, that was impressive as well. Make no mistake, Odell Beckham Jr. is a great talent. But make no mistake in this regard either. Chemistry, I said it for the NBA bubble, I'll say it now. That trumps talent. Especially when it comes to quarterbacks and wide receivers. Aaron Crouch from the Vegas Squares offered a really good question when I was on his show about a week ago. Aaron Crouch said, when is the last time a big-time receiver got paid and led his team to a championship? Because I don't remember it. Which guy has lived up to the contract? Odell Beckham Jr. has been nothing but a locker room cancer. I'm not saying he's had the on-field antics, but behind the scenes, Baker Mayfield obviously is not his happy self. Baker Mayfield goes out of his way to defend Odell Beckham Jr. That's not a good sign. But I believe the Browns, I've said it all year, they're going to make the playoffs as the 7th seed. So any other year they wouldn't, but I believe they will make it in a very strong AFC North division this year. I believe they will be the 7th seed in the playoffs. But make no mistake, Baker Mayfield should improve now. And it's not taboo to say that, oh, you're disrespecting Odell. No, I'm actually not. I'm just thinking contextually and logically here in the game of football. But shout out Baker Mayfield with the pass touchdown on Donovan Peoples-Jones late. Joe Burrow continues to impress. The Steelers defeated the Tennessee Titans in what was a very, very good game. The Pittsburgh Steelers led for most of the way by about 14 or 17 points for a good while, and it came down to a Stephen Gostkowski field goal for the Titans, and that was pretty impressive. You're going to see in the next graphic I have that I was meaning to talk about this. Okay, I messed up here. I'll talk about the Steelers and Titans now, but we'll talk about the Cowboys after the first commercial. But no, the Steelers, I was getting ahead of myself. I don't even want to talk about the Cowboys. They're so pathetic. Or dare I say John Bostic. But let me get back on track. The Steelers, I thought, did a very good job against the Titans. The Titans are showing huge flaws. They're showing the Ravens-type flaws. When the Baltimore Ravens go down, their whole game plan just explodes, and they have no idea what they're doing. Lamar Jackson cannot throw them back in the games. They cannot run the ball anymore. In this game, the Tennessee Titans, yeah, they made some nice throws late with Ryan Tannehill to A.J. Brown, but Derrick Henry was still being run into the ground, down 14 points, and that just cannot happen in a game against the Steelers. Steelers were bound to score more points, and I believe they kicked a field goal or something like that late, and eventually it ended up being too much. When your whole game plan is run this guy into the ground and hope that the other team doesn't catch him or tackle him, that's not a very good game plan. It's why the Ravens did not win last year. It's why the it's why the Titans may not win it this year. People were gracing the Titans as the best team in the AFC. I didn't see that. I saw a one-dimensional football team. Now, they were a very, very good one-dimensional football team, but they are not the best of the pack, as you will see in my rankings later on, a little bit of sneak peek of the mic rank. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Cowboys, and I'm going to go off on John Bostic for the hit that he put on Andy Dalton. And is Mike McCarthy really that bad of a coach? Has he fallen off the map that much? We'll talk about that just a little bit. I've gone a little bit off topic here. But again, next is Cowboys and Cam Newton, who has made me Twitter famous this week. So as you could obviously tell, I definitely made a mistake. I jumped right over the Cowboys and went straight to the Steelers and Titans. So again, my take on that Steelers and Titans game is the fact that Pittsburgh completely exposed Tennessee as a one-dimensional football team. And again, they're a very good one-dimensional football team, but are they really that impressive if once they're down, they cannot come back? Hey, it is what it is. Pittsburgh was a better football team. I expected the Titans to win, but Steelers came out and punched them in the mouth, and the Titans could never really recover. But then again, if Stephen Gostkowski had Tom Brady as his quarterback, he might have made the field goal. But that's just how history works. Let's talk about the Dallas Cowboys, and then a little bit about John Bostic, and then we'll get to Cam Newton's dress code, which you'll not want to miss, by the way. So the Dallas Cowboys went into Washington, D.C., and scored 3 points against the Washington football team. I picked the Washington football team to win, not by this much, but it was an ugly game. It got even more ugly and pretty much unwatchable for me as a sports fan, but also a life fan, when Andy Dalton tried to make a slide after a run, and John Bostic lowers his head into Andy Dalton's helmet, knocking his helmet off. Knocking his helmet off. People were wondering if Andy Dalton would have to be stretchered off. Thankfully, it was just concussion, but just concussion, I mean, is that what it's coming to? Oh, it's just a little dinger, right? We're going back to that now? That was pathetic, in my opinion. So before I get to the Cowboys' issues, John Bostic was not even suspended. And that was completely unfair of the NFL. I have said this before, and it's well known. The NFL is a reactionary league. If John Bostic's hit had been more publicized by more people than just Cowboys fans, Skip Bayless, I believe the NFL will react in a different way. But this is another example of a very poorly and pathetically run league. There should be no place in the game for people who have one goal, and that's not to win, but to take somebody out. And I will say this again to the Greg Williams supporters of the Jets. You know, the Bounty Gate guy? What game with a ball is the objective to hurt somebody and not score? I just want to know what the sport is called, because I would love to not watch it. Oh, wait, it seems like it's the NFL. It's not right. You're going to say, oh, it's a physical, tough game. Stop that. Stop sugarcoating what these idiot thugs are doing. And no, I'm not calling every single player a thug. That would be stupid. I'm saying the idiots like this guy and Vontaze Burfict should never be allowed in the league again. This was not an accident. It was intentional. There's no place for the game that kids grow up playing. What are you teaching your youths? I feel like a broken record. What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to go into a game saying, well, dang, if Andy, I'm going to say, I picked Washington to win this game. But if that was Dak Prescott, the NFL reacts differently. But I don't, as a fan, go into every single game saying, well, if a defense takes this guy out, they might win. That's not football. There's a difference between physicality and intentional violence. And John Bostic, not only making the play, but also not being suspended, is a complete and utter failure and disappointment by the league. It is not right, and I do not like supporting that kind of crap. Now the idiot will say that, and then we'll go ahead and watch the games anyways, because I'm just, sports is my life. But I highly disrespect idiots like John Bostic. I would beg to have him come on my show and tell me why I should think any differently. What he did was what people in the streets do. They hurt people. And that was wrong. As for the Cowboys, also Mike McCarthy does not do the team any favors. Apparently, he is not a very good head coach anymore, if he ever was. Mike McCarthy, on his resume right now, he's got a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. Congratulations. The team sucks. The team sucks right now. You can blame a pathetic offensive line. But Mike McCarthy is the most uninspirational. Like, wait, we thought Jason Garrett was uninspirational. This Mike McCarthy guy might have him beat. He doesn't intimidate me. There are some coaches out there that I could say, okay, well, that guy might be able to get in my grill, and I would say, okay, yes, sir, no, sir. Mike McCarthy is not that dude. He's exactly what Jerry Jones wanted. And I'm sorry to Cowboys fans. That's just how it is. I told you guys Dak Prescott was having a great year, and Andy Dalton would not continue this. And Andy Dalton will play next week. It doesn't take away from what I said about John Bostic or his idiot crap that he did. Okay, so this is a topic I've been waiting for because I was called racist and a homophobe. No, let me lie. I was called racist and a closet homosexual. You know what? I love sports fans, and I hate them at the same time. I have never understood why, if my opinion differs from yours, I'm somehow ugly, or I'm a nerd, or I'm racist. Like, what does, come on. So what is the context of this Cam Newton thing? Cam Newton sucked again. And his doubters like myself look pretty stinking good right now. He was benched for Jarrett Stidham. He was terrible against the against the Raiders, the 49ers, who I believe have woken up. But this was absolutely sad, man. Cam Newton is called out by, I believe it was Jeff Garcia, who was for the 49ers NBC San Francisco team. They ended up deleting the video, but everyone who saw it knows what I'm talking about. When he basically goes off and says, Cam Newton's dress code, blah, blah, blah. Why are you doing this? And I defended Jeff Garcia to a point. And here's what I said. And as a white guy, you're automatically disqualified from criticizing Cam Newton because I'm a racist. I mean, my apologies for hating black people because I don't like a quarterback. I'm sorry. I deeply apologize. No, I don't. Here's the deal. If Cam Newton was a regular dude, I promise you, he would not be wearing the crap that he does. Am I here to judge how he looks? No. I'm saying whether you like his style or not, there's a difference between that being your style and you being the quarterback of a football team that's struggling and you are one of the main reasons why. He had put this on himself. It is not Jeff Garcia or Michael Carvellis trying to say, whoa, goodness gracious, how dare this black man be terrible and still have an awful wardrobe. The two correlate because Cam Newton did this by himself. He obviously wants the publicity. He wants people to say, hey, look at Cam Newton. And guess what? I was in a whole Twitter debate telling people about how I agreed with Jeff Garcia, but then I was called those stupid names. And, I'm not even going to focus on the name calling anymore. Because I told people that was it for me, and I'm not doing that anymore with these people. My point was, Cam Newton is a problem. He is a me first guy. There were genuinely people coming into this season who thought, oh, Cam's going to be pissed off. He's going to work hard and he's going to What? The man hasn't been good since 2015. Even then, he had Luke Kuechly and Thomas Davis as the linebackers backing him up when he crapped the bed. Then they went 15-1. But make no mistake, he was terrible in the Super Bowl. Why? He could not throw a football. He never has been able to throw a football efficiently. And this game was another reason why Bill Belichick benched him for Jarrett Stidham. I was told there was no chance that Jarrett Stidham would ever take that job. This was Cam Newton's job, blah, blah, blah. There's a reason he signed for the minimum. He, like Lamar Jackson, can do one thing, and that's run. And I believe I would take Lamar's throwing over Cam's throwing any day of the week. He's big and strong. Stop that. What do your eyes tell you? Because it ain't much. He's always been inaccurate with the football. It is not racist or closet homosexual to say, by the way, when he says, look at me, and we look at him and he sucks, that's me being honest. Cam's dress code is a problem. He is clearly focused on something else besides football. It may not even be style, but he clearly never improves. Well, injuries. Every player has injuries, man. Stop using the injury excuse for guys that you like. Cam Newton's not a good quarterback. Never has been. He's a good quarterback. The quarterbacks have to throw whether people like it or not. If we're gonna knock Lamar Jackson for not throwing, Cam Newton, we've seen it for 10 years with this dude. I'm sorry, it's the truth. Whatever. Kyler Murray made some magic on the football field, and really Russell Wilson did too on the Sunday night game that everybody saw. They were really impressive. The game went to overtime, and the Cardinals did end up getting the upset. I was not surprised, although I picked the Seahawks to win. It was not surprising the Cardinals won. Cliff Kingsbury and, more importantly, Kyler Murray had done a great job with that team. Again, last season they were like 6, 8, and 1 or something like that, with a team that should never have won 2 games according to the masses. It's really impressive what this team has done over the course of their first 2 seasons, and Kyler Murray keeps getting better and better. He's a rocket arm. He's a scrambler. But unlike Cam Newton, he can actually throw a football very well. Now, DeAndre Hopkins obviously helps that. Hopkins played in that game. Russell Wilson did throw 3 interceptions. And I've told you guys all year, and really since last year, Russell Wilson carries the Seahawks. They have some good players, but he elevates them. One of the very few quarterbacks I've ever seen personally that can actually do that and not have stuff happen around them correctly. He can just win them games by himself, and that's hard to do because not many, if any, guys can do that. But Russell Wilson threw 3 picks, and it showed because the Seahawks lost the game. Does Russell Wilson perhaps take a step back in the whole MVP conversation? Yes, he does. Because Kyler Murray now re-enters it, in my opinion. Maybe I'll have an MVP ladder on SportsNetwork.com. Maybe. Maybe I'll put it on my Facebook page. Mike said it first. You can go to that link if you want. There's no promo code or anything I have to plug. There is a promo code for these guys. Mybookie.ag. That's MYBOOKIE.ag is your place for sports betting right now and forever. First deposit bonus up to $1,000 only if you use the code Torrent Sports. It's promo code 12OZ Sports, all caps, no spaces, to get ahead of the game. No other company offers it like we do at Torrent Sports and MyBookie, so make sure to get over there and start your stuff. As for my picks this week, I actually did pretty good. I'm going to get to the Bears in just a little bit. Got a little bit of time here. So my 5 picks this week, if you didn't catch it, you can catch it later on. It was Vegas Squares, lvsquares.com or 12sportsnetwork.com. Just look up Vegas Squares. I was a guest for the second straight week because last week I had a 3-2 record against the spread. Here I am again. So Cowboys and Washington football team, I said under 44.5. It was 45. You have to go against yourself a half point. I went under 44.5. Falcons Lions, I lost that one brutally. They would have won by one, so I wouldn't have won that anyways. But Todd Gurley screwed me completely over. Seahawks Cardinals did go over 55, which meant to 55.5. Raiders completely crapped their pants offensive line against the Buccaneers. I probably should have backed out of that once I heard about the offensive line stuff with COVID. And the Chiefs did beat the Broncos by more than 8, or should I say 8.5 points. Great show on Vegas Squares. I just need to get their commercial in here. They have a commercial, and I haven't ever asked them for the email. So my apologies to Aaron and his friends. Love those guys, by the way. Let's talk about the Bears real quick, and then we're going to get later on to the Mike rank, the new Mike rank, which is very unpopular and popular at the same time. Tuesday night, Thursday night football preview. Panthers and Falcons. Who won the debate? Who won the election? 55 people voted. Stay tuned for that in college football picks at 10:45-ish. So what happened was the Bears and Matt Nagy really got exposed again. I'm not saying the Rams are not a good team. I think they're a pretty decent football team, and they've really exceeded my expectations for them this season, which wasn't very much. But Sean McVay has once again saved the job of both himself and Jared Goff for the second time now in their careers. But make no mistake, Bears would have won this football game with the competent head coach. Oh, well, Michael, you can't say that because the fact is, this offense with Nick Foles and Mitchell Trubisky is about the same. So when you have the same players, the same running back, the same wide receivers, Allen Robinson, the same guys, the same defense, what is the one common denominator? Because the quarterbacks are playing the same. Well, I mean, if you don't want to blame the defense, you don't want to blame Allen Robinson. Oh, Matt Nagy, the offensive play caller, was garbage again, and I loved it on a national stage because I've been told Mitchell Trubisky cannot throw. I've been told that Nick Foles was signed for a reason. I've been told wrong. Matt Nagy is who I thought he was, a fraud. The Bears are not a good 5-2 team. They are a stuffed 5-2 team. They're not a big, mean grizzly. They're a Build-A-Bear workshop bear. They're not good. Yeah, they won some games. I mean, they blitzed the crap out of Tom Brady, and look at how that turned out. They won. But even then, Tom Brady had one more chance to win it. And if it was 33 and not 43, he probably would have won the game. It's sad, man. It really is. I did love seeing on the national stage Matt Nagy get himself cooked because Sean McVay completely outcoached him. Sean McVay completely did everything right, and Matt Nagy decided that Cordarrelle Patterson, apparently he thought it was 2012 because that's when Cordarrelle Patterson, I believe, was with the Vikings. It may not have been that year, but you get what I'm saying. But it was really sad. He was doing end-arounds with him. I don't know what they were trying to accomplish. The Bears made it a 14-point game late. But they scored 3 offensive points. They scored 3 offensive points. Are we They're literally the Cowboys right now who went to Washington and are getting all these terrible things, like all these terrible hate. So tell me, what am I missing? Oh, it's Matt Nagy. You're missing a good head coach. And I'm sorry, that's just the case. Okay, for those of you that are late to this, we just saw a promotional tweet where I said who was the Bears' problem. The Bears' problem is clearly Matt Nagy. Because the Bears scored 3 offensive points against the Los Angeles Rams, who, again, are a decent football team. They're not great. This is just a work of Sean McVay and his brilliance, okay? Matt Nagy was completely just bombarded by everything like, we're 5-1. Well, now you're 5-2. You're going to fall flat on your face for the next few weeks. I promise you that. You have won games against teams that I don't even care about. Like the Buccaneers, okay, great. Tom Brady's 43 and he showed in the last drive. Even then, you gave him a chance to win with the crappy play calling. They beat the Giants. Daniel Jones has no offensive line and still finds a way to be in games. Okay? Who have you beaten? Not much. Again, they're not grizzly bears, the mean ones. They're Build-A-Bears. They're frauds. I'm sorry. Okay, when I come back, it's the mic rank. Numbers 1 through 10. Who's the best in the NFL? I've kind of given you a sneak preview earlier. We're breaking it all down, including the honorable mentions. Also, Tuesday night, Thursday night football preview, and later on college football picks. Don't go anywhere. Boop.
James A. Paxton here, weekly blog writer and host of The Media's Input, and this is 12 Ounce Sports.
It's Wednesday, my dude.
Fantastic. He gets all this money, and that's it? We're okay with that? No. Baloney. I'm going to tell you what I think should happen.
The one, the only king on the ice himself, Philly Pete, and we are live on 12 Ounce Sports and Zingo TV, channel 7.
We talk about this every single week. Every single week somebody else is up for the document.
Everyone to Talking Miners. We're getting new at this thing. Great start to the show, everybody.
I'm going to give you all 30 seconds to make sure you get your popcorn and your soda can.
Welcome in live to the 12 Ounce Sports Studio.
World Hockey Report live comes to you on 12 Ounce Sports. Cody Jansen with you, joined with Cam
It's
Jansen.
the one and only Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper. And I got the anglers, the primetime anglers on 12 Ounce Sports.
Smarter by watching the Captain Lou Extravaganza live every Tuesday night at 8 on the 12 Ounce Sports Network.
For the marching exercise, you want to sit down in the center front of your chair, bring your feet shoulder width apart, and form a 90-degree angle with your knees. From here, you're going to lift one foot and raise the opposite arm, just as you march in place in your chair. Make sure you keep that core nice and tight and you breathe into it, and also maintain good posture with a straight back.
Oh boy. All right, guys, it is time for a new mic rank. That's right. I mean, it seems like every team I think is going to win usually, I'm doing pretty good on my picks this year. This is for all the marbles. This is the time where I tell people who the best team in football in the NFL is. The mic rank is 1 through 10, top teams. We're going to tease you first. We're going to give you the honorable mentions. And here they are. Number 14, the Build-A-Bears. Number 13, the Rams. Number 12, the Cardinals. Number 11, the Colts. Those are my top 10 plus 4 teams. And now, are you ready, kids? Aye, aye, Captain. I can't hear you. It's the mic rank. Whoa. Okay, so here it is. Number 10, the Buffalo Billionaires. The Bills took a major step back in the last couple of weeks. I still believe they are better than the 4 teams below them. That's not saying much, though. The Colts have no offense. The Rams, we don't know if they're frauds yet. The Bears are the Build-A-Bears. And, yeah, so the Bills are in definite danger of dropping out of the top 10. Josh Allen has come back down to earth. Can he pull a Kyler Murray and bounce back? We'll have to see. But right now, looks pretty ugly for them. They've lost 2 straight, and they barely beat the Jets, a team that I thought would give them heck, and they did. That was a very close game, and Bills trailed for a lot of that game. So make no mistake, the Bills right now not looking too great after 3 straight pretty awful games, despite winning the last one. The San Francisco 49ers, the number 9 team in the NFL. I believe they're getting I believe the last 2 weeks have not been anomalies. They beat a very good a decent Rams team who was hot, and they were not. And now they're getting healthier, and they come in and beat the snot out of the Patriots. They beat the brakes off the Patriots. Kyle Shanahan again had Bill Belichick's number, and I should have seen that coming. Every single time I do, I don't pick the game correctly. But it's cool. It's whatever. Number 8, the Tennessee Titans. Again, they were exposed on Sunday. They should not have been down by that much, nor should they have been in position to come back. Steelers are a great team, as I'll talk about later. But they made no mistake, Titans did that to themselves. They have one-dimensional team, and it showed up big time. Number 7, the Seattle Seahawks. This team goes as Russell Wilson goes. I believe the Seahawks could beat the teams below them. That's not saying much. Seahawks right now took a major step back when they lost to the Cardinals. And because it showed that Russell Wilson, once he starts to struggle, if he struggles at all, they're going to lose. Or makes a mistake, should I say. Number 6, New Orleans Saints. Drew Brees, again, played well last week. He was very efficient, getting to the first quarterback in history to 7,000 career completions. They had a close one with the Panthers, but Panthers play everybody and their sister in that division very well. Number 5, and they're doing this without Michael Thomas or Emmanuel Sanders, so Drew Brees is doing just fine. Number 5, the Tampa Bay Buccaroos. So, Tom Brady went crazy against the Raiders, and then you realize what the Raiders had to offer. An incompetent offensive line. I believe if that game was played again, it would be a lot closer, as I predicted, and I was wrong. But I believe if they met again, which will not be ever, because they're not going to meet in the Super Bowl, it would be a different story, and it would be a closer game. Not saying the Buccaneers wouldn't win, but Derek Carr would not be sacked 3 times by Devin White. That's one guy, linebacker sacked him 3. That's whatever. Number 4, the Baltimore Ravens. They're still a great football team. They really are. Top 5 teams here probably are great, but the top 4 are my favorites. My top 3 are my favorites, but top 5 are actually pretty good this year. And the Ravens are no exception. I believe next week when they play the Steelers, I'll talk about that game on Sunday on the Good Morning Show. But for right now, Ravens look very good. But that game is going to tell a lot about them. But Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson. He's doing stuff, you know. He's doing things. He was off this week. And I believe they looked pretty good in their off week. Number 3, the Green Bay. And the Ravens just signed Des Bryant. So more weapons for Lamar Jackson. He's to the practice squad, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be better. And Antonio Brown went to the Buccaneers. I think that's a great addition. I believe Tom Brady will feast. You thought Scotty Miller was looking good. If Antonio Brown has a pulse of what he used to be, he's going to look great. That's what Tom Brady loves, those little dink and dunk guys. Number 3, the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers showed up again. Devontae Adams went absolutely ballistic. He had like 200 yards catching in that game. And I believe a couple touchdowns. So Packers looked very good against the team they played. I don't know even why I'm blanking on that right now. They played the Texans. Now, granted, Texans are not that great. Texans are not bad, though. I feel like the Packers pretty much killed them. Again, Aaron Rodgers did whatever he wanted. Number 2, the Steelers. Pittsburgh dominated Tennessee. I didn't think they could. I thought that they could. I'm not surprised they won at all. I'm surprised they won and almost had to give up the game on a comeback. They were up big in that game for most of the game. Big Ben is on fire. Chase Claypool, Deontay Johnson, Juju Smith-Schuster were all playing very tough. Like, Juju Smith-Schuster was very tough in that game. He didn't make a lot of big plays, but he made a lot of plays where he would fight for that extra yardage, and that was insane and kept the clock moving. James Conner was pretty good in the game. Benny Snell looked good. They have a really good team around them, and the defense is absolutely insane. T.J. Watt is that dude. But they're not the Chiefs. Why are the Steelers not better than the Chiefs? The Chiefs lost to the Raiders. A division opponent, right? The Steelers beat the Titans. Yes, the one-dimensional football team. I'm not saying the Titans could not beat the Chiefs. I'm saying, as of right now, Chiefs have a way better offense. They would not put up the little points that the Titans did in the first part of that game. I firmly believe the Chiefs are better and the best team in football right now. As they got a little closer, sure. But I feel like the Steelers were going to be here. I've said it all year. They're going to be in this spot. They're going to be here. Big Ben's going to bounce back. The defense is going to be lights out, and it has been. And we'll see you this Sunday when the Ravens play the Steelers. All right, the people have voted. The election results are in. 55 people voted for this game. The Falcons and the Panthers. This is another edition of Tuesday night, Thursday night football preview. The numbers are as follows. Who wins Thursday night football? 76% chose the Panthers. And if I go to my picks for the Falcons and Panthers, it was 79% chose the Panthers on ESPN Picks and Pick'em. So roughly 75% of you believe Panthers will win. I believe the Falcons will be good. I believe this will be a very close game. But I will not be shocked when the Panthers win this football game. I chose this before I even made the poll. I love Matt Ryan. I believe that Raheem Morris will wear out his new coach welcome. I believe they should have won the last game, but that's okay. They're finding ways to lose, much like the Bears are finding ways to win. The Falcons are finding ways to lose. But I believe Christian McCaffrey might be back for this game. I haven't seen the last update. But he was looking forward to playing this game. Teddy Bridgewater is still good. They've done really well without Christian McCaffrey. I believe this will be a close game, but I believe Panthers will play well against another divisional opponent and win our Thursday night football game. Okay, when I come back, we're going to wrap it up. Not going to go there, but we're going to wrap it up. We'll be right back. College football picks are next and a show recap. Don't go anywhere. We are not done yet.
Drink Aid, ready for distribution worldwide.
James A. Paxton here, weekly blog writer and host of The Media's Input, and this is 12 Ounce Sports.
It's Wednesday, my dude.
Fantastic. He gets all this money, and that's it? We're okay with that? No. Baloney. I'm going to tell you what I think should happen.
The one, the only king on the ice himself, Philly Pete, and we are live on 12 Ounce Sports and Zingo TV, channel 7.
We talk about this every single week. Every single week somebody else is up for the document.
Everyone, two talking minors. We're getting new at this thing. Great start to the show, everybody.
I'm going to give you all 30 seconds to make sure you get your popcorn and your soda can.
Welcome in live to the 12 Ounce Sports Studio.
World Hockey Report live comes to you on 12 Ounce Sports. Cody Jansen with you, joined with Cam
It's
Jansen.
the one and only Pop DiBiase, the primetime capper. And I got the anglers, the primetime anglers on 12 Ounce Sports.
Smarter by watching the Captain Lou Extravaganza live every Tuesday night at 8 on the 12 Ounce Sports Network.
All right. It's about that time for a show recap before our final topic, presented by 12sportsnetwork.com/Amazon, which literally costs you nothing. What you're going to do when you're going to Amazon to get your next day shipping, whatever you guys do, you're going to use the link, 12sportsnetwork.com/Amazon. It's 120sportsnetwork.com/Amazon. It costs you nothing, and it makes us money. A little bit of mucho dinero, you know what I'm saying? Okay. The Falcons choked again, and I blame Todd Gurley, but Matt Ryan will be the butt of the Georgia sports jokes again. Baker Mayfield will be just fine. The Browns will make the playoffs, and Odell Beckham Jr., bye-bye. Although I hope I get well soon, in all honesty. The Cowboys, Mike McCarthy is the most uninspirational person on the planet. Like, you thought Jason Garrett was bad. This guy's worse. And, of course, John Bostic, who has no place in the NFL, but the NFL doesn't care because the fans did not care. The Steelers beat the Titans and exposed the Titans as a one-dimensional football game. As a one-dimensional football team. Again, they're a good one-dimensional football team. They're not going to be great unless they can throw themselves back in the game. See the Ravens. Cam Newton's dress code, it's not wrong to talk about it because he is a me-first guy. He has always been that way. It's clear he's not focused on getting better because he never has gotten better at throwing the football. He was benched for a reason. Kyle Kyler Murray was magical, and Cardinals looked very good. It also showed what I've been saying all year. If Russell Wilson makes a mistake, the Seahawks are a average to good team. The Chicago Bears are missing a good head coach. Like, you can talk about Nick Foles and Mitchell Trubisky all you want, but Matt Nagy has to go before them. Here's our mic rank for the week. Chiefs, Steelers, Packers, Ravens, Buccaneers, Saints, Seahawks, Titans, 49ers, Bills. And the bottom 4 teams are Colts, Cardinals, Rams, and the Build-A-Bears. Here. Okay. And also, our Tuesday night, Thursday night football preview. A lot of you voted the Panthers. Thank you for the 55 people that did. I believe Panthers will win a close game in Carolina. And finally, our college football picks for the week. And here they are. Like an idiot, I clicked out of the page because I'm just an idiot. I already said that twice now. Okay. There are 10 games ESPN wants you to pick. I believe West Virginia will upset Kansas State. Cincinnati will beat Memphis. Georgia State, stand up, will beat Coastal Carolina and upset them. UCF will beat Houston. Nebraska will beat Wisconsin because Graham Ertz, or whatever his name is not going to be playing. Northwestern will beat Iowa. Auburn will beat LSU. Rutgers will beat Indiana and upset them. Oklahoma State will beat Texas in a good game. And Ohio State will roll over Penn State. Justin Fields is amazing. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching and listening to 12 Ounce Sports Network. I always do that. I always do that. And breaking news, I believe this is it. Whoa. Now, why the devil? The Dodgers. Okay, I haven't watched this game tonight. The Dodgers take the lead in the World Series 2-1. And they're up. I'm not sure what happened. Everybody's calling it a fake ring. I'm late to the party. I'm sorry. But Dodgers are up on the Rays 2-1. I'm not sure what happened. All I know is people are calling the Dodgers ring fraud, and it's the bottom of the 7th, but they're already crowning the Dodgers as World Series champions. I don't know. I missed out. Okay, I'm sorry. That's it for now. Have a good one, guys. It's been real. See you guys Sunday morning. Huge announcement. My biggest announcement ever coming up. We'll see you guys next time. Sunday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern live. Thanks for Captain Lou. Thanks for shouting me out. I came from the top rope and splattered. Mitch Bernstein of The Burn with Mitch had a good interview with Art Shamsky, a former New York Met, former World Series champion. What am I saying? And this was the last leg of the Triple Crown Tuesday on 12 Ounce Sports. Have a good one, guys! Bye.